Hey, how's it going? Those are some fancy boots.
Thank you very much.
And that's a fancy piece of wood. We have a pistol grown into a tree.
We have a pistol grown into a tree.
Okay.
I found this piece at an Old West collectibles auction. I think it's worth more than money to someone that wants it because you can sit around and talk about it and wonder what it's about. I'm gonna ask $18,000 or $20,000 for it.
I'm guessing 1858 Remington. If you're in the Civil War, this was a great thing to have. These things weren't issued to you, you had to go get one. You were issued a muzzle-loading rifle, okay? You know, you got one shot and it's done. I mean, if you were carrying around 2 of these, you got 12 shots. You could shoot all day with this thing. A lot of guys had them in the Civil War because if you carried one of these with you, there's a lot better chance you'd live. Is it loaded?
Supposedly, there is a bullet in the chamber. I honestly don't know.
Let me, hold on one second here. Let me find a piece of barbed wire. That one's empty. That one's empty. Can I take it out of this?
You know, I've never taken it out.
Ooh, that's neat how it grew right into the barrel. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's loaded. The one in the chamber, you're never gonna be able to figure out. Every once in a while, people bring in buried or sunken treasure. But a gun that a tree actually grew into, I don't even know where to begin. I've definitely never seen anything like this. So this is a hell of a quandary. What in the world is it worth?
I want $18,000.
I don't think it's worth that much, but I have a friend who I really want to show this to. I want to get his opinion on what it's worth. Hang out a few minutes. I'm going to get him down here. I want him to look at this, okay?
Yep, perfect.
This thing is just way too cool to let it walk out the door without finding something more about it. Even if I just take it home and put it on my bookshelf, I'll make an offer. Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh.
Wow.
It's actually loaded.
Man, this is crazy. How did this get here? Nobody's gonna ever know, right?
No, no one's gonna know.
Well, there's a piece of iron sticking out the end over here.
Wait a minute. It wants to come out. That's weird. I just would love to. It sounds like it's in the barrel.
So maybe the guy was cleaning his gun when this all happened? There's just a million things with this. We have no idea what's going on.
Not that it really matters, but do you know what this gun is?
Well, I believe it's a Remington.
It is. This is a Remington New Model Army. They made them roughly from 1862 to 1875. This is a gun that competed with Colt, and in fact, if it wasn't for the Colt fire that destroyed the factory, this gun probably wouldn't have been produced in as great a quantity as it was. Colt was out of business for a little while, and Remington stepped up to the plate, and this became the most popular pistol for the Union during the Civil War. Really, really interesting. If there was a mint condition Remington New Model Army here or this, what would you rather have?
I mean, this one's cool.
Oh, I'd
this
take
one's got
this
the
any
story.
day. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. I can't figure out a price on this thing.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This is the one time when you're gonna ask me what it's worth that I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. There's nothing else like it. It's one of a kind. Okay, so you're not buying a Remington here. You're buying the chance to talk about this gun. It's just, I don't know. I'll tell you what I'd pay for it. I mean, that's all I can say. I'd tell you what I would pay for it. I'd pay $3,000 or $4,000, no problem. No problem.
Okay. I guess it's a starting point. Thanks, man.
Rick, thanks.
Okay, I knew you would love to see
Oh,
it.
I love it. Thanks for calling me down. And man, you showed me something I've never seen before, so.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. This gun transcends the whole gun thing. It's gun-based, if you will, but this is more of a conversational artifact. Remington made 100 and some odd thousand New Model Armies. This is the coolest one on the planet.
Okay, so this is one of those few things that I would buy off a customer that I would not put it in my showcase. I'd bring it home. And because I really want this for myself. I think this is the greatest thing in the world to pull out at a cocktail party with your friends and talk about it. I'd give you $4,000 for it.
No. I'm gonna pour myself an adult beverage and sit around and tell stories about it and listen to other people tell stories.
It's one of the neatest oddities I've ever seen. If you change your mind, I don't know why it's so cool. I know it's... Would you take 5?
No.
5 grand cash for a gun that's basically ruined.
No.
Okay. I mean, what would you take?
15.
It's really cool to talk about for 5 grand, not for 15. Thanks for bringing it in, man. Really, you really got a treasure there.
Thank you.
If you change your mind, bring it straight back to me, okay?
Thank you.
I hate having a cool piece like this walk out the door. But sometimes the cool factor and the asking price just don't match up. For now, I can just hope he changes his mind and runs back to the shop. How can I help you?
I have a Mastodon Tusk I want to sell today.
Okay. Where did you get a Mastodon Tusk?
About 40 years ago, my great-grandfather was on a dig in Florida, and he found it. He was an archaeologist.
Okay. I gotta say, this is a first. I've never actually seen anything like this.
I came to the pawn shop today to try to sell what I think is a Mastodon Tusk. It looks very ancient to me. I just think it's worth something. I'm gonna try to get 800 today. I really don't have any use for it, and I'd really like just to get the money.
Well, it looks like a Tusk. It looks really damn old, I'll tell you that. I mean, if it was found in North America, it could be a Mastodon Tusk or a woolly mammoth. I think the Mastodon Tusks were a little bit shorter.
Okay.
They were in North America for millions of years, and a lot of people thought that they got extinct because of the Ice Age, but they went through hundreds of ice ages. They most likely got extinct from when man finally came to the North American continent, you know, like 10,000, 12,000 years ago. They hit gold when they saw woolly mammoths. Really huge, slow-moving animal that was easy to hunt and that could feed everybody in a tribe instantly. Pretty soon, they were all gone. Mastodons and woolly mammoths were like really big elephants and easy to hunt. Not only did they supply a ton of food, but the bones, tusks, and fur could be used for tools, clothing, and all kinds of stuff. So once humans discovered them, they went extinct really quick. Normal ivory doesn't look like this. This looks really, really old. I've never seen these lines going like this way in ivory. Maybe 10,000 years old. It's not millions of years old. I don't think it's that old. Can I call somebody to check this out?
No, I really don't have time. I need to get to work, man. I just need to get this done.
All right. How much you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get 800.
I mean, my problem is I don't know exactly what I'm buying. For all I know, this could be like a really short elephant tusk that's been in a fire. It gives me the vibe of being really old, but I don't know. Will you take $400 for it? I mean, my problem is I'm taking a big risk. I don't even know what it is. I don't know how rare they are.
Let's just get this done at 550.
I'll give you $500 because I don't know what I'm buying.
So no way I can get 550 for this.
If I knew what I was buying, maybe, but no. 500 is really it.
500's good.
All right, let's go up front. We got to do some paperwork.
All right, thanks.
I had to take a risk on this thing or lose it. It looked really old to me. Hopefully, it'll be worth a lot more than I paid.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Thomas, how's it going?
Going good. How have you been?
Good.
Well, what have you got here?
You tell me.
The guys call me down normally when they have something that is unusual that's been found in the ground.
I bought this off a guy. He said it was a Mastodon Tusk. I mean, this weird type of grain I really never seen in ivory before.
Well, it's definitely authentic fossil ivory.
Okay.
My estimation is this is probably anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 years old.
Okay.
So you know this is not modern. It definitely has age. So you've got a very nice specimen here. But it's not an elephant relative at all.
Okay, what is it? It's a saber-toothed tiger. Walrus?
It's a fossil walrus tusk. It's the left tusk.
Okay.
You can see by the curvature and how it curves down toward the center. The other tusk would have come this direction.
Okay.
Yep, and that's what you're seeing along here. This is typical of what walrus ivory would have versus elephant ivory or any sort of elephant relative such as mastodon or mammoth. So how much did you pay for it?
I paid $500 for it.
In this instance, I think you've done all right. The good news is fossil walrus ivory is sold for carving. This has a very large market, and because of the interest in carvable ivory that's legal, the value on this ivory has gone up to over $400 to $500 a pound now.
Okay.
So this feels like it's in there anywhere from 3 to 4 pounds. So, you know, this is going to be $1,200 to $1,500 piece.
All right. Heck, I did good. You know,
Well,
I mean, for all my guesswork. Well, thanks, man. You're the
You're
best.
more than welcome.
That was close to being a bust, but my hunch was right. This thing is old. And at least now I know exactly what animal it came from. I should be able to make some good money on it. What do we have here?
I've got an exploding die pack from the bank, $1,000 of $10 bills.
If you robbed a bank, why would you take tens?
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my exploding die pack of $10 bills. I would like to get $500 for it, but I would take $473 because 3 just ends with a smile.
And how did you get this?
A buddy of mine's in banking.
Bank robbing?
No,
Okay.
he just runs the bank.
Why wasn't this ever shipped back to the Federal Reserve?
I don't know.
A few holes in your story, man. I hope you know a good lawyer.
The way they work is once they walk out the building, there's a little set-off strip right at the door.
Okay.
After they go out, they're supposed to go off in 10 seconds. It's exploding die pack. It gets all over their clothes, all over their hands, all over the other money, and it's rendered useless. They can't use it anymore.
I imagine the only people who really ever see these things is maybe a cashier, a few people at a bank, someone who works at the Federal Reserve, and bank robbers.
They're real rare.
Die packs are used in most U.S. banks nowadays because it's pretty hard to claim you're innocent when you're covered head to toe in dye. I think there's a few different types of devices they use. They actually make a pack now with a transmitter in it. So even if you get a few blocks from the bank, they can just keep on following you all over town until they get to your house.
Now that I didn't know that.
I guess they're actual $10 bills they cut apart. It wouldn't surprise me if for some reason or the other, this is owned by the Federal Reserve. I'm assuming it's legal to buy this die pack. But then again, when you're dealing with the feds, you better be certain. How much you want for it?
I like 500.
I have never seen one of these things before. I'm sure there's some rules and regulations, if not laws, on it. So do you mind if I call somebody in, have them come check it out?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Well, I'm hoping whoever comes in to look at it says it's a real rare item that is legal to own and it's worth a lot of money.
Mark!
Doing? You guys normally call me down here when they've got something that's a little odd or they want some more information on. So what do we got?
We have the die pack thing you get in the bank when you rob it.
Well, these things were developed back in the 1990s. If you were being robbed, you were supposed to slip it in with all the other bills. It would blow out this ink that dyed your skin, it dyed the bills, it dyed everything. When that thing goes off, you're either blue or red or whatever color, and so is all the money. So what is your concern with this?
Are they legal to own?
Yeah, you're fine with them. In this case, these were actually not made by the Federal Reserve. They were made by a private company. And the private company would cut out enough of the bill so that you have less than 20% left. They're basically just trash paper at this point. What you have here is a curiosity.
I understand. Thanks, man.
Good to see you.
Now that I know it's legal for me to buy, I'm interested. Curiosities like this create buzz and they get people in my shop. How much do you want for them?
You know, the number that pops into my head is 473.
Were you dreaming when you came up with that number?
No, I just think it sounds good. Just when you end in a 3, 473, you end it with a smile.
I'm not smiling. It's a tough sell item. It really is, and it's going to take a while. I will give you $100 for it. I mean, the problem is it's just a curiosity.
How about 300 bucks?
I'll give you $150.
If you market it right, I think you get quite a bit more money for $200.
I'll tell you what, I'll go $175. I won't go a penny more. I mean, I feel as if I'm giving you a fair price for it.
Okay.
All right, write them up, chum.
I was shocked that I didn't get more than $175. I thought I was a better negotiator.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing? Okay, we have some Pinocchios.
I have 3 of them, originally made by Bob Baker Marionettes for the Disney Company.
That's really cool.
Be honest with me, have you ever sat around at night and played with them or anything?
No. I came to the pawn shop today to sell my Pinocchio marionettes. I'd like to sell them today because they're taking up closet space. The least amount of money I'm willing to take for them is $5 grand, because that's what I got into them.
I can honestly tell you I've never had a giant Pinocchio marionette brought in my store ever.
Okay.
And there's one thing in this world that's collectible, it's Disney stuff.
These are just like perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're all handcrafted.
Yeah. Pinocchio is one of Disney's most iconic figures. Pinocchio wanted to be a real boy, not made out of wood. And one of the things about it was, if he ever lied, his nose grew. Disney didn't come up with a story. It's a much older story that was adapted for the film. Walt Disney released his first full-length animated movie back in 1937. He was the first one to realize animated films could make tons of money, and you could convert the characters into merchandise and make a lot more.
How do they work?
Well, let me show you here real quick. Most of these have been sitting in the boxes in my closet. Of course, there you do your little walk and your hand thing. I don't know, I'm not a puppeteer. It looks like a rap star or something walking around with his pants sagging. This is the best I can do with it.
You sure these are yours, dude? Because you have no idea how to use that tool.
They're mine.
Disney is one of the most collectible brands in the world, and collectors are extremely passionate about it. So I know there's plenty of potential buyers for these. What I don't know is how much they're actually worth. So what did you want to do with these things?
Well, I want to sell them.
Okay, how much did you want for them?
Well, corresponding with email through Bob Baker Marionettes, they're saying that these things are worth $10,000 to $100,000.
Wow, that's a spread.
I would say.
You know what? These things might be worth a lot of money. You know, I don't know if these things pop up once every 5 years or once a month. So I got a buddy who knows all about these things. You mind if I call him up and get him down here to take a look at them?
No, that's fine.
All right, let me give him a call.
All right, sir. I'm excited they have an expert coming in because I think he'll know the true value of these things because they are very collectible.
What do you think?
You really get some different stuff here, man. I own Toy Shack right here in downtown Las Vegas. I took up toys as a hobby as a young kid and been doing it my whole life. Basically, what we have here is some life-size Pinocchio marionettes. Bob Baker was commissioned to make these pieces.
Who exactly was Bob Baker?
He's the go-to guy, basically, for puppets. He's created over 3,000 puppets, I believe.
Whoa, that is neat.
This is an exact replica of what the animators would have used back in the late 30s to animate for the movie. So there would have been a puppeteer moving around Pinocchio, and then the artist would have been around drawing it, so that way they would have been all on the same page. These aren't the puppets they would have used in the late 30s, but these are an exact replica of what the animators would have seen or used to create the movie of Pinocchio. So what are your concerns, Rick, about the pieces?
Basically what they're worth, and have you seen a lot of them? They pop up a lot?
Very, very rarely. I mean, you see the smaller pieces, but you don't see the life-size Pinocchios. These are some really neat pieces.
Okay, so everything about them's legit.
These came out of the Bob Baker studio. Do you have some paperwork, too?
For one of them, number 55, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 100% that these are licensed pieces. I would put a value on each piece, about $6,000 a piece.
There we go.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
All right, thanks, man. You're the best.
No problem.
Appreciate it, Jimmy.
All right, so how much do you want for them?
Why don't we start at 18?
No. If you had your own store, you could maybe get $6,000 a piece for them after a while. You got a realistic number?
You know, 14,000?
There's no way. Your average working person doesn't spend this kind of money for something that looks cute in the corner of a room. It's gonna take a while to sell them. I'll give you $9 grand for them.
These are unique. You'd only come across these originals ever so often. Would you do 10?
What do you think?
9,000 sounds a lot better than 10.
How about 95? That's cash.
I think we got a deal.
All right, deal. Want to write them up?
Yeah, come with me, man.
I feel good about 9,500. I got some money in my pocket now, and I'm very happy to get rid of these things.
Hi,
What do we have here?
they are,
They're disturbing is what they are.
disturbing.
I'm coming into the pawn shop to try to sell my antique handcuffs. I bought these at a flea market for $100. I didn't know what they were, but I thought they'd be good for a gag gift. My daughter was going to her prom, and I thought I'd get them for her boyfriend.
Do you know a lot about them?
Not a lot.
Some sort of bizarro handcuff?
That's what it looks like to me.
They're from 1925. There's a patent date right on them.
I thought these things were from the Middle Ages. To find out they were so recent makes them even creepier.
Have you ever put these things on?
Yes, I have, a couple of times. I'm always afraid they're not going to come off. Would you like to try them on?
Not really.
Come on. Get your thumb down there.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Ow, ow. Yeah, these are miserable. These would definitely keep you from doing anything.
Yeah, they sure would. Give me a good price and we'll take them off you.
Yeah, whatever.
These handcuffs hurt. For a guy like me, it's cruel and unusual punishment, I'm telling you.
These are the most miserable, evil things I've ever seen. I mean, they're right up there with an Iron Maiden. But honestly, I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
I'm racking my brains just to figure out what they were used for. I can't think of any reason why you would have to put someone's hands in that position.
I do have someone who knows about these, though.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell us what these things are and what they're worth.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. These are the handcuffs I called you about. And what the heck are those things? They're, like, really disturbing.
I've worked my entire adult life as a locksmith. I'm an expert in police memorabilia and handcuffs. These are very rare McKenzie mitts.
Okay.
They were made in 1925, and they only got used just a very limited time, about less than 5 years.
What were those used for?
This was for prisoner transportation. This locked the entire hand, so the escape was virtually impossible.
Why did they stop using them?
Well, there was 2 or 3 good reasons why. It took cooperation of the prisoner to get these applied upon himself. And once they were on him, they became very formidable weapons.
Okay.
And the main reason they didn't last very long was that during railroad days and transportation, they had a steadfast rule that the prisoner could never, ever be unshackled. So if that prisoner had to go to the bathroom, guess what the guard had to do? You mind me asking how much you paid for these?
No, not at all. $100.
You did extremely well. These are very rare and highly collectible. They made approximately 50 of these.
Wow.
In an auction setting, these could be worth $3,500 to $4,000.
Wow. The moment I heard the expert say they were worth $3,500, I almost fainted. I never imagined they'd be worth that much.
Thanks for coming in, Mark. I really appreciate it.
I like that they're real. I like that they're rare. I like it when people walk in my store and say, what in the hell is that?
Well, that was some good news.
Yeah. For you, maybe.
Yeah.
So how much do you actually want for them?
Well, if they're worth $3,500, how about $3,500?
You want $3,500?
I wouldn't turn it down.
I'll give you $1,500 for them.
Can you go up to maybe $2,500?
I go meet you in the middle at like $1,600.
That's not in the middle.
Depends on what kind of math you're using.
I was using real math.
Have you ever heard of a McKenzie handcuff auction?
No, can't say that I have.
Neither have I. $2,000 is the best I can do.
All right.
All right, deal.
You got it.
All right, let's go do some paperwork.
All right, thanks. I just made $1,900. I'm feeling lucky. I think I'm going to go to a casino and put it on red.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
What do we got?
I got a 1984 Olympic boxing ticket stub with a few autographs on it you might be interested in.
And I know the signatures right off the bat. That's Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. This is in 1984, and back then Holyfield had 2 ears, right?
I'm at the pawn shop today to try and sell my 1984 Olympic boxing ticket stub. Back in the day, I was a big fan of boxing, so I drove down to the arena every day and became friendly with the U.S. boxing team. The ticket does have a little sentimental value. The time that I spent with the Olympic boxers was special to me. I'm looking to sell it because you can take the ticket with you, and you can do some good with the money. I'm hoping to get $500 for this ticket stub.
This is definitely cool. This was the '84 Olympic Games held in Los Angeles. How did you get him to sign it?
Well, it was a day where the Olympic U.S. team had a bye. They were all in their street clothes, so I was kind of hanging out with them. Mike's head was hanging low because he was just riding the pine.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was there as an alternate. I mean, he really didn't have anything to do unless somebody got injured or hurt, right?
Yeah. I knew he was young and didn't have any money, and first time on an airplane, so I took him to lunch. I just wanted to kind of lift his spirits a little bit. Came back, they were still hanging out. The guy we kind of sat next to was Evander, and that's when I got Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield won the bronze medal for the light heavyweight division. After these games, both these guys were huge. I mean, they both went pro immediately after that. By 1988, they were both the creme de la creme of heavyweight boxing. Tyson and Holyfield fought in 1996. I'm sorry, he just wasn't prepared to fight Holyfield. The second time, in 1997, Tyson said he was sick of getting headbutted, so he decided to, for whatever reason, bite off Holyfield's ear. So is history. It's definitely cool, so what are you looking to do with it?
I've had a long time. I think I'm ready to sell it.
Any idea what you're looking to get?
I think $500 is a fair price.
Okay, you know, you got something really interesting here. I've never seen anything like this. You know, if you just brought me Mike Tyson's signature, I would have just said, you know, they're not really that much money. Same thing with Evander Holyfield. But the fact that they're on the same thing at an event that they were both at long before they were really famous or anything like that, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it could be worth some money. Do you mind if I have a guy come in and take a look at the signatures?
Please do.
All right, I'll be back in a few.
My one concern with the expert coming in to validate the signatures is the rarity. He's probably not seen many adolescent signatures from those boxers back in the day, so that concerns me.
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. He's got a ticket stub from the '84 Olympics signed by Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson.
Really? I have to be honest with you, don't really see that too often. The two of them together from that period, because no one was really asking these guys when they were amateurs. It'd be pretty rare.
You know, these guys were both kids back then.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to think about it. Tyson was just, you know, an amateur. I think he was 17 years old, something like that, right in that range.
He just turned 18.
And Holyfield was a couple of years older than him. Both came out of kind of rough areas, you know, and they're tough kids, some great fighters.
I mean, Steve, obviously it's a weird item. I mean, are these their autographs?
I've only seen, I think, one other ticket signed by them. That's it. So it's pretty scarce to have them on an item together, especially an Olympic ticket. So the first thing, obviously, I want to do is take a look at the ink on this thing and kind of just see what we're dealing with, Corey. And it looks like a ballpoint pen on Tyson, and same thing for Evander Holyfield. So it's a blue ballpoint pen, so both are live on there, no problems with that. Tyson, very difficult to find any kind of signature from him from that period. I've seen just so few of them. This is from one of the only I've ever seen signed, and it's literally the same type of signature. The Holyfield autograph, very basic, very neat, and he takes his time with it. So, tell you the truth, you got a winner here.
Okay. So what would something like this go for?
Well, you know, with the two of them together, I think it's significant. Their history together kind of makes it worth more money. And these are two of the most iconic boxers of all time. This one is special. And in today's marketplace, you're looking at about $2,000.
Oh, wow.
My kids told me it was going to be a big hit, but I thought not that big of a hit.
I'd say it's one of the neatest Olympic items from '84 I've ever seen.
Wow.
All right, man. Steve, thanks for coming by.
Yep, good luck with that. Take care.
All right, it's a deal, 500.
Wow, you shouldn't have brought him in.
What do you take for it?
1,500.
I'll double what you came in asking for and give you 1,000.
It's more than fair, but knowing how rare it is now, I think I'll stay at 1,500.
You know, me having to sell this thing, you know, I might get somebody coming in offering me $1,700 for it. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna get. So I'm just gonna have to stick at 1,000.
I think after holding it for 37 years, I can hold on for a couple more.
Well, my offer will stand, so if you ever want to come back, please do, okay?
I appreciate that.
Take care.
Thanks. He tried to hook me for $1,000. Based on the rarity, I think I'm gonna pass. Take it home, put it in a nice frame, and let everybody see it.
What the hell is this? Just put them right there, dude, in the middle. You ever think of calling ahead, man? What the hell are these things?
They're a couple of bomb fins, probably from World War II or something. I've never seen anything like them myself. Don't you think they're the bomb?
Wow.
Came down to the pawn shop today, tried to sell my bomb fins. I'm not sure exactly what they're worth. I kind of will take anything at this point as long as they're out of my backyard.
I mean, they look like the tail end of a bomb or something, but you're definitely missing the bomb part of them. These are just like the fins that would help guide it to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
So where'd you get these, man?
Well, they were kind of sitting in my dad's backyard and ended up getting them at my house somehow, and now I just want to get rid of them. Well, wife wants to get rid of them.
How much does it weigh?
This one probably weighs a couple hundred pounds. That one's probably about 50, 60 pounds. They're, I guess, from World War II.
All right. The Allies dropped millions of tons of bombs in World War II. So I guess it would make sense that there would be some bomb fins laying around in some guy's garage. Did you paint that one?
No, no, no. That came as is.
And I could see someone turning this into a table or something. I don't know what the hell you would do with that one.
You can play a little basketball with them and stuff, and...
Yeah, I can also buy a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've never had these come in before, and I have no idea what they're worth. For all I know, they could be a septic tank off something, dude.
No, no, definitely not.
I got a buddy that might know. I think my dad would probably like to check them out, too. Let me give him a call and see what I can do for him.
All right, that sounds good. I don't know much about what these fins are. I'd really like to hear from an expert because maybe they're worth more than what I'm expecting.
Wow. What are you guys, getting in the bomb-making business?
No, no, no.
The guys usually call me down here for anything aviation or military related, and I try to come down here and answer any questions they might have.
So you know what these are?
I do. These are actually conical fins off low-drag general-purpose bombs. So before, in World War II, and even World War I a little bit, we would just drop the bombs out. And so accuracy wasn't there. These conical fins got put in use from Vietnam on. You strap this onto the tail section of a bomb, and it provides a predictable glide path for the bomb. Basically improves accuracy.
All right.
It's pretty low tech. You know, today we're dropping laser-guided, GPS-guided bombs, but we're still dropping these. In 2003 in Iraq, this is what we were using.
Why are we still dropping, you know, these big dumb bombs instead of the smart ones that are going down people's chimneys?
You know, obviously the accuracy is in there, but it's just so much cheaper. The laser-guided bombs, you know, you can't actually drop through clouds. You know, sometimes it's easier. This one looks like it's strapped to about a Mark 84, which is a 2,000-pound bomb, and 11 feet long. We'll fly in, we'll identify a target, and basically roll in and kind of come in on a dive to improve accuracy. And then we'll release the bomb and then come off. Obviously, we want to get bomb-aircraft separation. As far as damage, you're looking about probably a 50-foot crater, about 11 feet of concrete that can go through.
Wow. That's a big bomb.
Yeah, that would pretty much level the gold and silver pawn shop.
All right, that's good to know. You did make sure there's nothing in that thing, right?
Yeah, man, obviously.
Okay. It's not illegal to own these things or anything, is it?
No, you know, most of them are actually serialized and we kind of account for it, but they are out there. It's not surprising, but it's not very common.
Okay, so what are they worth?
Believe it or not, this is probably higher value, the smaller one, just because it's got more uses. I've seen people make tables out of these. The condition's average at best. They are a little beat up. This one's been painted over. You know, it's gonna bring down the value a little bit because it's not original. You know, commercial value, probably all in, $500–600 in that range.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for coming in.
Great, good to see you.
Well, I was a little disappointed. I figured they'd be worth a little bit more, but, you know, it is what it is.
So let's talk money.
Well, I was hoping somewhere in the 1,200 range.
Obviously, man, you know I can't pay $1,200 for it. I mean, I'd give you like $400 for it, man.
400 for one or both?
For both.
I do want to get rid of them, but I still think that, I mean, $400 is a little low. I mean, you can't go up to like maybe
No.
7?
No.
No?
The more that I look at them, the more I don't want them. They just take up so much damn room. $400 or nothing.
You can go...
$400 or nothing.
They're cool. I mean, there's something that's not gonna... I don't think they'll sit in the shop for a long time.
Would your wife let you put this in the living room?
She did.
Would she?
She did for a little while, and that's
And
why
then-
I'm here.
And that's what happens, yeah.
400 then.
All right, have a good one. Right about it.
Let's go do some paperwork, man.
Well, I feel okay about the deal. My wife will probably be happy, and it'll be a nice dinner, take her out, and just have a good time with the money.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, what's going on?
What do we got here?
Man, I got something. I don't know if you really come across these too often or not. Kind of pull it out here and let you take a look at it, but...
Let me get you something to put it on.
Well, I brought you a shrunken head, man.
Okay. Why does it look like my buddy Chum?
I'm at the pawn shop today to hopefully sell my shrunken head. I acquired this from a friend of mine who owns a oddities vintage shop in my town. I always thought it was something really cool, unusual, so I brought it home, put it on my shelf, and everybody walked in my house had something to say about it. About 4 inches tall, it's got real hair on it, and I think it's the real thing. I'm hoping to get $5,000. If I sell the head today, hopefully I can buy me a couple round-trip tickets to Australia.
I've never seen anything like this before. The story is, there was these tribes in the Amazon rainforest, and what they would do with these things is they figured out a way to shrink people's heads, and the whole purpose behind it, I guess, was to show what a tough guy you were. Who wants to mess with a guy with a bunch of heads on his neck? That being said, I really don't know much about it, and it's kind of one of those things where, the myth has just become way bigger than the actual thing. Do you mind if I take a look at it?
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, I mean, it looks real, but it's really hard to come across an actual shrunken head. I know somehow, some way, some Europeans came over in the Amazon and saw these things and were like, that's cool, let me buy that. And there's been like a whole black market of making fake ones ever since. So what are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get somewhere around $5,000 for it.
Okay, I'll tell you what, do you mind if I do a video chat real quick with a buddy of mine and have him take a look at this?
That would be great.
Give me a few minutes, hang out, I'll be right back, okay?
Cool, thanks. I'm confident that it's a real shrunken head, but we'll leave it up to the experts and see what they have to say about it.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I have what looks like a shrunken head here. So give me an idea, what can you tell me about these things?
Shrunken heads have been around for a long time. So most of them come from Ecuador. So you didn't want to be a traveler or an explorer in this part of Ecuador at the end of the 19th century and end up getting your head shrunk.
And so how would they shrink a head? How were they able to do it even?
It's disgusting. So these are warriors. They've taken a head in battle and they cut up the back of the skull, remove the face off of the skull. The flesh then is turned inside out, and then it's heated with hot sand and rocks, which the heat will cause that skin to shrink. And the more you do this, the smaller and smaller the head will become. If you're a really good head shrinker, you can get a head that's about the size of an orange.
So could you give me an idea on how to tell if this is real or not?
Okay, so about 1930, Ecuador outlawed them, but at that time, the tribes that were making them discovered that if they sold them to tourists, they could make a lot of money. They started doing fakes. So let me take a look. Look inside the nostril.
No nostril.
So the next thing we do, we look at the ears.
I got no ear holes.
Bad sign. I think we got a fake here.
Okay, well, give me an idea of what something like this is worth.
If this guy were real, I would pay 10 grand for it. As a tourist piece, I'd say it's worth 200 bucks.
Okay, I appreciate it, and take care, Bob. Bye.
Take care.
I'm sure you heard me, but clearly it's not real.
Man, I was hoping we had one.
I know you were kind of shooting for the stars when you asked for 5,000 bucks. He said it's worth 200 bucks. I'll give you 200 bucks. It just really reminds me of a buddy of mine, and I kind of want it for myself.
Oh, man, I think for 200 bucks, it's worth bringing back and putting on the shelf.
Would you do 300?
No, man, I think I'm just going to hold on to it.
If you change your mind, I'll be here, but I really appreciate you bringing it in. It was fun.
Great, thanks, man.
Take care.
I'm not going to lose my head over not selling my shrunken head today, so I'm going to bring it back home, put it back up on the shelf, and enjoy it for a few more years.
Recently, a customer came into the shop with what he thought may be a real shrunken head. It turns out it was fake, but it actually looked a lot like Chum. Unfortunately, me and the guy couldn't come to a deal, but I did a little research and I found something better. So now I have a little surprise for my dad and Chum.
So you're taking us to the Golden Tiki, huh?
I got you guys a gift. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Corey, how's it going? You ready?
Hey.
Tell him what I got him.
Let's do this.
Okay, on the count of 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. You got me a shrunken head.
Pretty awesome.
And with all due respects, we could not leave out the old man.
Nothing says I love you like a shrunken head as a gift. I'm gonna have to say, you guys did get Rick's head a little too small, though. It's usually a little bigger than that, even when it's shrunken.
Thank you, son. It is definitely an original gift. I actually really like him. And I love the old man. He's actually smiling.
He's always smiling. I'd have to say I got the best head of hair there, though.
All right, we need to get back to work, guys. Come on. You guys are just upset because I have the best looking shrunken head.